Ice Locked here with Nocturne Gaming, back with more Legends of Idleon, and we're taking a look at the Wakawaka War totem today. Wakawaka War is a level 10 totem used in worship, and it is located in the World 2 map, up, up, down, down, located here. So this totem does provide Dune Souls whenever you spend your worship charge or you complete the tower defense waves. I have a much more detailed guide on worship and how to improve your stats and increase your efficiency linked in the description below. So for this guide, I am using my hunter, and the talent points you need to spec into are stop right there, as it immobilizes multiple enemies around you, and the higher the level of this talent, the longer it roots the enemies for. Next is 360 no scope, as this can hit multiple monsters. On page 2, you want to spec into Kung Fu Kick, as this can push monsters back. And again, the higher the level, the further the knockback is. For the Piercing Arrow is next, and it can also hit multiple enemies. Please keep in mind that your damage is capped at 1 damage per hit in tower defense, so you don't need to spec into all of the damage things for this. So I am going to show you just one of the builds today that I used to get to wave 70 or so. And please keep in mind that this is only one build, and there are plenty of other ways to place the towers to complete these waves. So let's get started. So to summon the waves, you need to click on the totem and then select summon, and then head down towards the left, as this is where the portal comes from. And we're going to start summoning our towers here. First is a fireball tower directly below that rope, and then a frost tower right next to it, a pulse mage tower right next to that, another fireball tower, and then a frost tower, and one last fireball tower to kind of finish off our initial setup here. Now this should get you easily through wave 10 or so, and by that point we can start summoning our next line of defense. So I will speed up and show you that in just a second. Alright, so now we've got enough points after wave 10 to start summoning our next towers. So the first is going to be your Kraken defense tower here, and then a party tower up top right beside the rope here. And when you summon a party tower, the first thing you should do is level these up to the level 5 as quick as possible, as that's when you start getting your benefits. So we'll get the 25% speed there, and now that should make these next waves go a lot smoother. So from here, we're just basically waiting on points to summon more party defense towers. And as we're going through these waves, make sure you're keeping in check the mobs with your abilities, rooting them or attacking yourself, and it'll help you get through these early waves a lot faster. Okay, so here we are, we're on wave 29 now, and we've got the setup for all of our towers at this point. I only have upgraded just these party towers to level 5, and so we're going to go through what we're going to be upgrading for the rest of the map. So we'll start with your fireball towers, as these are your primary damage dealers, and we're going to upgrade these to level 5, and the first thing you should select is trait B for the explosion radius. And then for your level 10 upgrade, you're going to be selecting the chance to have 2 fireballs coming out. So you want the explosion radius first, and then selecting trait A for the multiple fireballs. For your frozen towers, you're going to level these up to 5 or so, and you're always going to select trait B. Never select trait A, as it's just not worth it. So make sure you're selecting trait B. For the Pulse Mage Towers, we're going to level this up to 5, and you're always going to be selecting this pushback non-Gigo enemies. This will really help keep your Kraken Tower able to keep enemies in line. So those are the 3 towers or so that you need to be selecting your upgrades for primarily. And then your last upgrade tower is going to be your Kraken cosplayer, but it's your least priority. And when you can get this, you're going to be selecting Underlings push mobs back 25% further. You just want to keep them under these fireball towers as long as you possibly can. But other than that, upgrading these towers as much as possible. Whenever you do upgrade any of the party starter towers, it needs to be in increments of 5, as they do nothing for each upgrade until you select that benefit at level 10 or so. So don't waste your points on this unless you know you can get it up to level 10. So this is going to be my next priority or so. And we're going to speed up and let you see how far we can get using this setup. So as a last note, the later waves can be pretty overwhelming with the healing from the mobs and just the massive amount of health they have, so make sure you keep upgrading your towers, and in particular your fireball towers and your party towers, as you will need a ton of damage and attack speed. Also make sure you keep using your roots and your knockbacks as often as you can to keep them in range of the towers. Although once you get to this stage, it's more of a matter of upgrading your towers and your construction workbench to do more damage and to reduce that upgrade cost so that you can get more levels easier. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying this type of content. And a huge shout out to our Patreon members that support the work we do. Thank you from all of us here at Nocturne Gaming. If you would like to become a patron and get some added benefits, check out the link in the description. If you have any thoughts, comments, or questions, please leave them down below for me, and we'll see you next time.